Hey guys, I'm in Japan, eating some churros. My phone fell. Okay. I'm a little bit sick today. Oh, it fell again. Yeah, I'm a little bit sick today. I'm eating this churro over this bag. Just been thinking about some stuff. Like, my girlfriend and I recently split up. Things ended amicably. Like, we plan to still be friends and stuff. I'll always try to end things positively, right? We were having some compatibility issues, or I guess it's been long distance, and then because of the long distance, I guess those incompatibilities were highlighted or like made more apparent. She's a very lovely person, you know. She might see this too. Hope you're doing good if you see this. Yeah. Hold on, let me eat a little bit more of this churro. I'm eating these churros from 7-Eleven in Japan. Churro sticks. They're pretty good. Pretty good churros. Also, since I'm a little bit sick, I bought this heated green tea. I love green tea. I love matcha. Also gonna eat this yogurt. But yeah, my trip in Japan is wrapping up. Japan is a very beautiful country. Very beautiful country. I had a very good trip. Oh, as you guys have been seeing the shorts I've been making of Japan. Let me know if you like them. The trip is 21 days long, so I'm gonna keep posting like everything I've like taken small videos of throughout the days to show you guys and make shorts out of those, and it'll be like day 4 Japan, day 5 Japan, day 6 Japan, you know. Let me take a sip of this. But yeah, I went to 10 different cities, 2 to 3 nights every city. It was nice. I think that the only thing I kind of wish I did more was like make more friends or connect with people more. It's not that I didn't connect with people at all. Like, there was like this elderly couple that ran a little shop near one of the hotels I stayed at in Kyoto. And they were really sweet. Like the older owner of the shop, he like would practice Japanese with me. He had some manga on the wall, and I like asked him what his favorite was, and he would talk to me a bunch of stuff. And before I left that city, that was Kyoto, I got him and his wife, who was like the co-owner, like a nice little present before I left. Like some treats. And then there was this other, like, I don't really do like clubbing or bars too often, but occasionally I partake. But I'm not really a drinker, because I like am pretty heavyweight, so like it like feels kind of pointless because I don't feel anything. But at the same time, I also just don't like drinking to begin with. But but I went to this place and I made this friend. He's like he'd studied in like Australia, and he was pretty cool. He's like a fisherman studying to be a sushi chef, and I was like, oh dang, he's really cool. But I guess I just felt like I'm really big on like respecting people, so I like didn't want to intrude on people's personal space. Even though I'm like an ambivert, so like I can be super extroverted sometimes, and then other times I'm like more introvert. It's like a social battery maybe, but I just have a really big social battery. But yeah, I think I just wish I like made some more friends in Japan in my 3 weeks that I was here. I feel like I wasn't able to like I guess I did make like some, but yeah, but that doesn't take away from how beautiful of an experience it was. It was awesome. I'm super thankful, you know. I've been wanting to go to Japan for a long time. I got to practice a lot of my Japanese that I've been studying for a long time, so that was exciting. Also, I'm gonna eat this yogurt. They even gave me a spoon. They don't give you a spoon when you buy yogurt in America. Take notes, US. I've been feeling very pensive, as you are, you know, after a recent breakup. You know, you're very heartbroken and trying your best to go on. You know, there's more to. It's very sad. You know, I'm sad about it, but I know I won't be sad forever. A wise man once said, "It's the quote that makes the rich man sad and the poor man happy. This too shall pass." And yeah, and I've been thinking of like, I really like to help people, right? I really like to make people happy. So I guess maybe that's why I feel I kind of wish I was able to connect with more people, because I just find that very fulfilling, like being able to help people have a good day. That's why I stream, and that's why I always say, like, you don't have to stay the whole time. I'm just happy you're here and hope I can help you have at least a little bit of a better day. You know, my spiel. But yeah. So it had me thinking, like, I wish I could have connected more. But I did tell every service worker that I met. When I left, I would be like, "Suteki na ichinichi yo," which which is uncommon for people to say in Japan. It just means have a nice day, and instead of the often said "arigato gozaimasu," which I also said, but it always made a lot of people smile. There would always be like surprised that they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you too, have a nice day too." They'd be like, "Oh yeah," so that made me happy. But so it had me thinking of like, so I know myself pretty well as a person. Like I know my purpose, and which is very lucky, right? I've taken a lot of time throughout my life to get to know myself and be able to like know myself well. But sometimes that doesn't stop that feeling of being lost. Sometimes like you need to recalibrate, right? Sometimes even if you know yourself pretty well, you have to get to know yourself again, especially after a relationship. You should always take time alone to yourself to like grow after a relationship, because you've changed, right? You've changed each other. But I know myself pretty well, and what I'm saying is that, like, throughout life there's been times where like I need to not need to, but like I am interested in so many different things, right? So like I like streaming to you guys. I like writing. I like designing video games. I make board games for like friends and family. I like learning languages, doing all sorts of stuff, playing games, reading books. Uh, so many things I like to do. But my purpose in life is is I want to make the world a better place for people. So I always go out of my way to like make people happy, because my purpose in life is making people happy, or making the world around me a better place than I left it, right? I don't need to leave behind like some grand legacy or anything. I just want to do my best with the time I have to make the people I meet at least a little bit happier, right? That's the best we can all do, right? But I mean, like that'd be cool if I did like something like super grand and stuff. Like I wouldn't mind that. But like it's not like a necessity to be able to do good things. But so it had me thinking, like, what do I want to do with my life, right? Because I've accomplished quite a lot of things. And like I've done a lot of stuff to help people. I'm like, the whole reason I even did my career as a scientist was to like help people live longer, healthier lives, so that they can enjoy life more. And but so it had me thinking, like let's say one day I'm able to retire from my job, like early. Like let's say I'm able to, if I had all the money in the world and could do whatever I wanted. There's like an ambulance outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Japanese ambulance. Oh, wait. I hope everything's okay. I don't know if that's an ambulance. It's just a wee woo wee woo. Wee woo wee woo. But yeah, so it had me thinking, like, okay, if I had all the money in the world and I didn't have to work anymore. Not that I dislike my job. My job is very nice. I like have a really nice community at work. My job is not super stressful, thankfully, because I did have some science jobs that were more stressful. Very stressful, like a lot of unpaid overtime, which was not very fun. Working 9 to 9 unpaid. I mean, but my current job, very nice. Like I have like 4 days off a week pretty much, and I work like, it's pretty nice. But lots of vacation days, which is how I'm able to take a 3-week trip to Japan. But yeah, so it had me thinking, like, if I wanted to do something, what would I do if I had like all the money in the world? And I think I want to do something that helps people, right? But I want to help people in so many ways, because I like so many things, right? There's so many things I could do. Like, I could start organizations to help people. I could open like a little language cafe to like help people learn English in different countries or things like that. Yeah, it just had me thinking, like, what would I want to do to help people? Like, if I had all the time in the world and all the money in the world, I or if I didn't have to worry about money, what would I do? What would you do? Let me know in the comments. Because, like, let's say you didn't have to worry about money, right? You'd eventually travel everywhere that you want to go. You'd do everything you want to do. And then, and then what? Then what happens? I guess you can keep finding things you want to do. I mean, that's good. That's good to always be curious and continue finding things that you want to do. But I'm thinking in terms of, like, what project would I want to do? And I guess it's the same, right? Because if you travel, you don't have to worry. If you don't have to worry about money and you travel, then you can just go find new places that you're interested and curious about to explore. And in terms of, if I put that in terms of a project, then it's like I start one project and then just keep finding different projects of ways I want to help people. Yeah. I know a lot of this might not have been very coherent, maybe didn't make sense. Maybe it's full of me sniffling, sniffling the whole time. But, yeah, I appreciate you guys watching this. You know, I'm just putting my thoughts out into the world. The human experience, you know. Imagine, like, thousands of years into the future, someone, like, watches this video and they're like, wow, so that's what 26-year-old Hispanic guys were thinking of back in 2025 in Japan. On a trip to Japan. We're wondering about life as we're here with our iPad 307s playing Fortnite. Minecraft, holographic Minecraft, VR holographic Minecraft in the metaverse. Yeah. Things to think about, right? I will continue to ponder that question. What the kind of things I want to do. The next place I really want to visit is China. Maybe that's where I could start, like, that language cafe thing, you know? If I ever did something like that. If I ever, like, am lucky enough to, like, retire early from a job and, like, able to sustain myself independently or something. But, yeah. Being heartbroken sucks, guys. I'm recording this, like, maybe 10 days after, or, like, 2 weeks after. So I'm not, like, bawling my eyes out anymore. But those first, and it still hurts, but, like, those first few weeks, or those first few days are, like, especially painful, right? It's like you get that sinking heart feeling. And I guess what made me feel better is, like, at least, like, I'll still have them, like, in my life, right, as, like, a friend. That's the thing about, like, breakups, right? Like, if they end really badly, even if they don't end badly, some people just don't want, like, it kind of feels like someone died, you know, because someone is dying in your life. Like, not literally, but like the relationship is dying, right? So I really love this Buddhist way of thinking about love, where like a lot of modern love is like, if you break up, you gotta hate them. Like, oh, I loved them wholeheartedly until 3 days ago when they dumped me, and now I hate them and they're horrible. Well, actually, it can be justified, if that's justified, if they did something bad. Not saying that's not good, but like if it ends amicably, or like there's nothing like super horrible that happened, maybe you guys just weren't like a good match, right? You don't have to hate them just because you dated them and aren't dating anymore, right? Because if you were willing enough to have them as like a partner, then why wouldn't you be willing to have them as a friend, right? And there are situations where you can't, right? But yeah, but the Buddhist, so that's a modern way of that love often happens, or like you break up and then, oh, you hate each other, I wish foul things upon them, I hope they step in skunk poop or something, right? Does skunk poop smell like skunk? No, because the skunk smell is like a spray. So I think skunk poop most likely doesn't smell like skunk spray. One time, we had this dog in my dorm in college, and he went out to pee, and he got sprayed in the face by a skunk, and it was like, that skunk smell that you smell in the wind? It's bad, but it is nothing compared to the liquid of that skunk spray being in a dog's mouth, like 10 feet away from you. It is so pungent and wow. Okay, but anyways, sorry. But yes, so the Buddhist way of thinking about love, in contrast to the modern way, is that like if you really love someone, then you wish for their happiness, right? Like you want them to be happy. And if you really love someone, then you would want them to be happy whether or not that's with you, right? Right? Because that's love, right? Like, if you love someone and you truly want them to be happy, and you're realizing that like you are not making them happy, or you guys are not making each other happy, then loving them is knowing that, okay, I want them to be happy whether or not it's with me, Like, I would love to be the one that is able to do that, but yeah. But sometimes you're not able to, and that's okay. And so you wish for their happiness. Versus, and that's the Buddhist way of thinking about it, versus like as soon as it's over, right? No. But yeah, thank you guys for listening to this. I know I'm just like in my Japanese hotel room, like it's my second to last day on the trip, thinking about sad stuff, thinking about happy stuff though too, I saw this video by Dr. K, the Healthy Gamer GG YouTube channel. He talked about happiness is a skill. Because, oftentimes I feel pretty sad, I'm gonna be honest. But I watched that video and he talked about how happiness is a skill, and it's all about like how you frame things. And it makes sense because if you've ever heard of cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT, it's all about kind of like reprogramming your brain on your own or with a therapist. And it's like changing your thoughts. So it's like whenever you think of a thought like, oh, I dropped my shoe on the floor, it's because I'm an idiot, right? Instead of thinking of that, it's like catching yourself and being like, I dropped my shoe on the floor because I'm in, and that's okay. It's okay that I dropped my shoe on the floor. It happens, you know. It's like catching yourself and like changing it into something more kind to yourself, you know. And that video, that's something I knew before, but like it was a good reminder of that. And I hope I'm able to make more people happy. I hope this video made you happy. I know it's not like the traditional kind of video I make. It is 11:59, by the way. Look at this. Bam. 11:59. Oh, also, yeah, there's another bed. Cause I needed I didn't need another bed. But so we were doing this thing where we were just booking hotels like just a few days in a row, cause it's really cheap to do that in Japan. Like we would book it just like three days in advance is what I meant, not in a row. But we ended up having to be here in Tokyo again to catch the flight in a few days on a weekend, and things were expensive, and in Tokyo or the bigger cities in Japan it can be a little bit difficult to do that strategy. So I ended up having to take the L and like get a more expensive room, and this was one of the only options with this other bed. And I was like, oh dang it, but it's okay. I mean, it was, I think, like the same price as like getting a single room that was like a lot smaller. So I was like, I'll just get the two. Or I think they didn't have a single room available. I forgot the exact situation. But yeah. Anyways, if you watch this whole video, I really appreciate you. Leave a comment. I respond to all the comments. Or I try my best to respond to all the comments. And yeah, I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you were able to get something out of this. That's my goal usually, right? To help you have at least a little bit of a better day. And yeah, maybe I can do something where like I practice me connecting with people more, or like just doing more stuff to fulfill the purposes I want to fulfill. Oh, you know, one thing about purpose, actually. Okay, sorry, I know I said I was gonna end the video, but purpose. For those of you who feel a little bit lost in terms of purpose, as someone who knows his purpose, I can guide, or try my best to help guide you towards yours, right? A lot of people try to like search for their purpose, which is valid, you know, you can search for it, but I think that the best way is not necessarily to find. This is based off like a lot of things I've read, because I'm very into philosophy and stuff, where it's like you don't really find a purpose. You have to choose one. You have to like get to know yourself. Just sit yourself down in a room for like a few hours, get to know yourself, and just, there's like a lot of questions that you can look up to, like questions on how to get to know yourself and things like that. Could even use ChatGPT, like what are the best questions, to most effective questions to get to know something like that. But yeah, and then you learn more about yourself. You reflect, you take the time to answer things thoroughly, and you choose, like, what do you want your purpose to be, you know, instead of finding it. Because if you just aim to find it, you might not, if you never sit down to reflect on like what it is that you like of all the things you've tried. So it is good to try. Like, you can try a lot of different things, but also reflect and like choose. But you also aren't pigeonholed. You aren't stuck to what you decide. You can choose lots of things. You can have a purpose that evolves. You can have multiple purposes. You know, don't feel stuck. You're only human, right? You can do everything you can do anything you want. And that's what I hope for you guys. I hope you guys are living great lives. I know it's hard sometimes, but we can help each other through, like I don't know, I tripped over my words there. But we can help each other do awesome.